I'm Colonel Jan Kimberly from the Assignments Directorate at ARPC. I'm going to talk about the Reserve Force Development Programs and Assignments. At the end of this briefing, you will know the who, what, when, why, and how of force development, and hopefully have a better understanding of the force development team and developmental education processes and know your role in them. Throughout this briefing, I'm going to also tell you where to find this information as well as others, and then we'll do questions at the end. Let's begin with an understanding of what force development is. It is a process for you to receive guidance and mentoring from senior reserve leaders in your career field. Force development for the reserve is much different than for REGAF because it is optional. When you elect to participate, you're basically saying, yes, I am interested in developing my career and want to explore. I want to explore the various paths within my career field, explore assignment opportunities that will provide new experiences, knowledge and skills, and explore the education and training opportunities that will help me grow as a leader. Why is it important for you to know about reserve force development? As I mentioned, the reserve and REGAF approach force development vastly different, and therefore the processes are different. It is especially important as an IMA that you have conversations with your REGAF rater and senior rater about how force development works in the reserve. Educate them on the processes and tools individual reservists use to seek out new assignments, how you apply for and interview for positions, discuss education and training opportunities, and when applying for a course, provide them the ITA or invitation to apply so that they get a better understanding. When you get vectors back from the DT, provide them to your rater and senior rater. It forces a discussion, and believe me, they won't and don't have time to go into VPC and look to see what the board said, so just provide that to them. Your reserve career field senior leaders are here for you. They are available for mentoring and assistance through this force development process. Next is the who is involved. First and foremost, it's you. It all begins with you choosing to seek out career development opportunities. You can begin by completing your R-EDP each year. I'll talk more about that in just a few minutes. Others who play a role in force development are CFMs, MFMs, the ARPC force development team, your DT board, and if you apply for any courses, the DE board. Here's a look at the force development programs we at ARPC manage. We conduct 54 boards per calendar year. Yes, we have a very full schedule. There are 46 officer and enlisted week-long development teams that meet annually, 25 of which are officer DTs held every year, and 21 enlisted DT boards every other year. So the AFSCs hold their DTs every other year. 4 developmental education boards. The officer ones are the 2 reserve school selection boards, RSSB A and B, and the Reserve Developmental Education Board, RDEDB. The Developmental Education Board, EDEB, is the only enlisted board. And then there are 4 special boards listed here that also convene at ARPC, and I'll talk about those in just a little bit. Other programs we manage are Key Command and JDAL positions for O5s, Joint Officer Management, and Student Facilitation, which manages placement and outplacement of in-res students. And for all of these programs, it is very critical, as I'm sure you heard during other briefings, that you have your records up to date. And I do want to mention here that all boards that were scheduled for 2020 as of now will occur, with the exception of CAF. It was canceled. We will continue with virtual boards until the travel ban is lifted. The DT calendar is out there now, but is being revised, and you should see a new one in the next week or 2. But all the information on these programs, to include dates for the boards, can be found out on our My Force Development site. The RDP starts with you, and I can't stress enough how critical it is to the force development process. This is your tool to communicate directly to the force development team. Be honest, they're looking for honesty. If you want to stay in place for the rest of your career, that's fine. Just say that, but just understand not to have an expectation to attend school or be on the KPL or things like that. But they are looking for honesty. The RDP is critical to both DTs and school boards. It gives them a look into what you're thinking as well as what your rater, senior rater is thinking in regards to your career development. And always keep your RDP up to date. You could update it every month if you want to. Just save it and then only submit it for coordination when you need to. You should get reminders starting about 4 months prior to your development team meeting. Your RDP is a living, breathing document. There's no need to initiate a new one each time you update it. Just simply click save and move on. It is important for you to route it to your rater, senior rater for comments. Per AFI, it should, final submission for your RDP should go through the first 06 or higher or equivalent in the rating chain. And for enlisted members, must include their organizational command chief or superintendent. Appropriate alternatives for 06 would be like senior IMAs or your CFM, MFM, senior civilian leaders with AFSCs. Those types of people can also be your final court on that. Bottom line is you have to take an active role in your development. You cannot expect anything to be given to you. All right, these are instructions here for someone who has never completed an RDP. If you have completed an RDP before, it will be found in your work list tab. And this is a screenshot, as you can see, from your dashboard in VPC that you can get to through MyPERS. So if both the officer and enlisted are found over here in the same place. So this is how you update it. We don't have time to do a deep dive into the processes used during a DT board, but I think it's important that you know what their purpose is. That is to produce a KPL and provide vectors to individuals. Once the panel has scored all records, they are arranged in order of merit and a cut line is drawn creating the KPL. Where the cut line is drawn is based on how many KCJ positions the career field has and the previous year's numbers, usually around 20%. The KPL is then provided to the KCJ office and is used by hiring authorities, CFMs, MFMs, DE boards, and other senior leaders to consider when making leadership, education, and training decisions for the reserve. By the way, not being on the KPL does not preclude you from applying for or being hired into KCJ positions. That's a common question that we get, so does not prevent you. Although the board may provide feedback on administrative errors in your record, that their primary job is to produce a KPL and provide meaningful, personalized vectors. Here are the standard filters applied to the eligible career field population when DT boards are built. The R-ODP is the primary filter applied and the most common one that precludes members from fully participating in the course development process. Again, foot stomp, fill out your R-ODP. CFMs and MFMs can request a waiver of any or all of these filters in order to better manage their populations, and that approval lies with ARPC. The reserve uses formal education as a mechanism to develop airmen for future leadership positions. If you attend any of the RDEDB courses, be prepared for a follow-on assignment into a leadership position that makes sense depending on what course you attended. And for RSSB courses, make sure you take back the information you garnered to the members of your unit or wing. We want you to share your experience. When considering who to send to which developmental education courses, the board's goal is to deliver the right education at the right time. It doesn't make sense to select a nurse to attend JAWS, the Joint Advanced Warfighting School. So you might put it down, but probably not the right education at the right time for the right person. So, educational development is an essential part of your military career, and it's meant to be delivered continuously throughout your career. It provides additional knowledge and skills that were maybe not gained through previous experiences and will help you be more successful no matter what level of warfare you're operating in. Selection for courses is very competitive. The reserve is looking for the best return on investment for the Air Force. Here's a look at the 4 developmental education boards conducted and some of the courses offered. The RDEDB is held each fall for selection of officers to attend the long in resident courses. And the convene date for this year's RDEDB is It's not on the slide, but it's 26 to 30 October. Could change depending on COVID situation. The invitation to apply for the RSSB CY20B board opened today, and that board will convene 24 to 28 August, and applications are due to ARPC 13 July. Each invitation to apply is posted approximately 3 months prior to application closeout to give members 3 UTAs to route their application. There has not been a date determined for the next EDEB, but just keep checking the MyPERS Force Development page where we post those, and I'm sure we will send out a MyPERS announcement as well. So applicants will not meet the board if they do not meet all eligibility requirements. A waiver can be submitted for some things, participation. If you do not have 5 consecutive good years with a total of 50 points each year, then a waiver is required. MSD, HYT, if they're before the listed requirements in the ITA, then a waiver is required. TF, CSD, that's for officers only. If it is before the listed requirements, again, an ITA is required. So I can't stress enough the importance of reading thoroughly in that ITA, invitation to apply, and submitting the waiver in accordance with those directions to the board president, who will then approve or disapprove the waivers. Disqualifiers for meeting the board are included here. Be sure your application is completely coordinated on and do not miss the deadline. PIR members are not eligible to apply to the RDEDB, but they can apply to the RSSB. They will not receive orders, pay, etc., and must find their own way to any course which they are selected, but they can apply. Don't assume that each ITA is the same. Word of caution there, just read it in its entirety. It's been trimmed down quite from like 20 some pages to 8 over the years, and so I know it's still quite lengthy, but it's important that you read it because it's constantly changing. Applicants shouldn't fire and forget. Monitor the application from start to finish. VPC can track the status of your application, so use that tool and don't miss those internal suspenses or ARPC suspenses. Only select courses that make sense for your career path and timeline. Talked a little bit about that. Applicants are encouraged to prepare their raters and senior raters for their applications by having that conversation with your senior rater and explaining what, when, where, and how you're applying. Explain the processes, explain why you picked the courses you did, give them a copy of the ITA, and assist with preparing comments. Submit your R-ODP. I think I've heard that somewhere, said that somewhere before. This is seen by the DE panel members. It's a way for DE panel members to gauge the what, where, when, why, hows of your career coming directly from yourself, your rater, your senior rater, and your career field manager. And last, don't become a professional student. Attend 2 or 3 courses and be sure to apply those skills to your work area. Provide that return on investment. Next, I want to cover the 4 special boards we conduct annually, beginning with the Command E89 board. This board will convene 27 to 31 July. We just got the dates for those. And the deliverables or outputs for this board are the same as they are for the DT boards. They produce a KPL and provide personalized vectors to members. Important takeaway here is 2020 is the last year for the Command E89 board to convene. Beginning next year, 2021, the E9s will be looked at during the Reserve Command Chief Screening Board, and E8s will be seen by their functional DTs. Okay, STEP. STEP board is a tool available to commanders to nominate outstanding and well-deserving E5s through E8s for consideration to promotion, 1 grade above the authorized grade for the position they are in. PME fitness participation exemptions apply the same as they do for all other boards. Last year, 226 out of 436 were promoted by this board. That's 52%. Package due dates have been moved from June to July, and board execution date was moved from July to September this year due to COVID. It's worth noting the reader detachments also now receive same applicant quotas as wings. The Reserve Command Chief Screening Board is an enlisted board that provides a vetted list of candidates to be used in consideration for placement into command chief positions over the next year. REGAF is the OPR for this board, and ARPC executes it. As mentioned previously, in 2021, the E90T will combine with this board. The last special board is the Reserve Command Screening Board. This board provides a vetted list of candidates to be used in consideration for placement into group, wing, and deputy commander positions over the next year. REG is the OPR for this board, and ARPC executes it. Officers must be on their Functional Key Personnel List, KPL, in order to be eligible for this board. All right, the next slide has a lot of important links for you when looking for assignments. For TR and IMA vacancies, you'll go through AFPC Secure, and then for ART vacancies, USA Jobs. AGR assignments, the link is available there through MyPERS. It's MyPERS, then Force Development, and then you'll go under AGR vacancies. And then for 06 vacancies, all statuses are listed on the REG site. And if you want more detailed information, can be found in our IR Guide, Chapter 8. The first link on the previous slide that takes you to AFPC Secure is where you can access RMVS and find reserve vacancies for unit or IMA positions. So you would go to this site and then click on about 3/4 of the way down the reserve vacancies link, and next. And then it will pop up this menu here, and you will want to choose all officer or enlisted vacancies. And the results will show the number available by rank and AFSC, and you can click on specific AFSC to see a further breakdown, and then you click on the position for details and application instructions. Key items to look for and those details is the reserve category and training requirements. Some, as you know, IMA positions require a different number of days than others, or points. Any remarks and then POC information can all be found in that detailed information. If you're interested in AGR vacancies, go to MyPERS and click on the Assignment tab on the left, and then select AGR Program. And then from here you click AGR Vacancies webpage, which will then allow you to search for vacancies by rank. So you can, up at the top up there, you can follow the path on how I got to this site. And then listed here is just all things AGR program. It's where you submit your applications, and advertisements and things like that are posted here as well. All right, that's all I have to cover. I love questions, so anybody out there, some questions, let's go.
All right, we got a few for you. So I'm helping out doing the DPA-PB connection. So what is being done to facilitate ART officer development and ease the burden of enduring the civilian hiring process every time an ART officer transfers to a new position?
Oh, okay. So the civilian force development is not part of what we do at ARPC, so I don't really have a good answer for that. It's probably something maybe A1K could help me out with, but military-wise, yeah, that's under my force development. That's bridging the gap. So read the last part again.
Sure. It says, ease the burden of enduring the civilian hiring process every time an ART officer transfers to a new position. Okay.
I mean, I know the Reserve does have some new initiatives and trying to capitalize on some technology that's out there, whether it be through Talent Marketplace or MyVector. Those are tools that are going to help us better manage those things. We just aren't there yet. We realize there is a need and there's a gap, and hopefully some of those tools will start to come online and we can capitalize on that.
All right. Oops. When is ARPC going to get a replacement IT solution for access that continue to be unstable?
Get an IT solution for, I'm sorry, what?
The Microsoft Access that we use.
Yes. Yes, that is very painful, very antiquated. It is for users, for us. So we have been working the development phase for 2 years now to try to move things over to a different platform. And again, that's just not a fast thing, but there are efforts in place, and it is a total force effort, not just a reserve effort. So we're moving right along with RegAF to try to make things better.
Okay, why is the opportunity to attend in-residence SOS not available to all reserve captains as it is for all RegAF captains? Note, Major General Kelly already said dollars, and I think facility space at Maxwell, but see if you have anything to add to that.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. And we only get so many quotas on the reserve. So right now there's enough people completing it, distance learning, and other means that dollars is really what it comes down to in space.